And hey, everybody, welcome back to the Law and Crime Network. Well, I'm on the edge of my seat here waiting for the super duper hyper enhanced version of whatever that is. I'm joined now by Francey Hakes, former prosecutor out of Los Angeles now. And Francey, you've been, I guess, trying to hear something on this enhanced version of the tape, as I have. Are you getting anything from it? And we can talk more about what it means or doesn't mean, but are you hearing anything?
Not really. I mean, I think, Mike, for me, the witness is credible, so he's doing a good job. I think the jury may believe what he says. But what I'm hearing is the same thing the prosecutor alleged, that the victim in this case said, I'm good. And that really mitigates against the police officer having identified himself. Although, in fairness, police officers are certainly trained to do that and to do that first thing. So to me, at this point, it's still a toss-up, and I don't really know what happened.
It seems to me you've got the big win would be an actual audible sound, police, just that word, anything that sounded like that. That'd be a win. That'd be a home run. But it seems you get some, the prosecution, I mean, the defense is going to get some benefit by this expert saying something was said to elicit that, because at least that gives some credibility to the officers understanding that there was this conversation taking place and he said police. It's something, but how much really is it? Is it going to carry the day?
I don't think it'll carry the day, Mike, but it is interesting. He clearly said something because the victim responded, I'm good.
And we know that. So
there was some word. We know that. But what was it?
Yeah, I think that's the key here. So this witness may be helpful, but certainly it's not a home run. It might be a bunt single, but you know, he's doing the best he can with this audio that he's having to deal with. You've been following the case, Francey, and the state has rested in the case against Nouman Raja, and we expect the defense is going to be done, as I understand, about half day tomorrow, and then they'll prep for and do closings on Wednesday. So what are your thoughts on this case? We have a manslaughter charge, we have an attempted first-degree murder charge, a series of events that almost delineates those two charges. Give me your take on this thing.
Well, Mike, this is such a tragic case, but what it looks like is there was certainly some kind of misconduct. It's one of the reasons why my own state of Georgia, for example, requires officers making traffic stops to have marked vehicles and to be in uniform. This officer was not in uniform. He didn't have a badge. He didn't have a vest. He didn't have a marked vehicle. At 3 o'clock in the morning on the roadside, when a van pulls up aggressively blocking you in, what are you going to think when someone gets out and starts shouting at you? I think as a citizen, you're kind of entitled to think you're about to get carjacked or robbed at that time of night. So it was a series of misunderstandings. The question is, was the officer's conduct, has the state proved the officer's conduct was so unreasonable as to become criminal? And I think they've done a really good job. Yeah,
and critical to this case is that 10 seconds between the first volley of 3 shots and the second volley, one of which those bullets finally took down Corey Jones. So we're going to come back to this case in just a couple of moments. We'll find out what the defense has in store for the rest of the day, and we'll do that in just a moment right here on Law&Crime. Well, this is kind of backwards. Frank Piazza's on the stand here for the defense. He's an audio-video expert. Normally, you get through his CV, his resume, before he gives his opinions, but they're doing it backwards, and let's just say he's a great guy. And we won't have to go through all the detail there. In the interim, while he's doing that, we have that 40-second AT&T audio separated out. This is the audio that this expert poured over, enhanced, and played for this jury to suggest something's going on here before the victim, Corey Jones, said, Let's listen to that tape.
Stop. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Get your fucking hands up. Get your fucking hands up. Go.
Oh my gosh. There's gunshots.
So there's the AT&T call, the roadside assistance call, in and of itself without the others added to that FBI composite. And that's the subject of this expert opinion now on the stand for the defense. Francey Hakes is still with me out of Los Angeles. Francey, we've seen now 2 witnesses for the defense. They had a psychologist, head shrinker sort on the stand earlier today, out of order actually during the state's case, to talk about the psychology of these police-involved shootings. And now we have this expert who's very hyper-technical about some sound that we all figure might have happened before we heard the victim say, but not enough to tell us what it was or what it means. What more, if anything, would you expect from the defense? What do you think they're going to have up their sleeve here?
Well, Mike, the defense has a lot to overcome in this case when you're talking about what is clearly a mistaken shooting. That is, someone who was not engaged in criminal activity, doesn't seem to have represented a threat to law enforcement, has been shot and killed, and actually killed while running away. So in order to overcome that, the defense is going to have something really good. So far, they don't have it. I don't think the psychology of police shootings, because this wasn't a traffic stop, it's a different kind of encounter, applies here. And I think the technical defense, when we already know the police officer said something that Jones responded to, I don't think helps the jury forgive, if you will, the officer's egregious shooting of Mr. Jones. So far, I would say the ball is very much in the prosecutor's court, having done well, and the defense is falling down.
It'd be so nice to hear something more specific. If we just heard him say police, cops, whatever. Hey, Francey, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and helping me out this afternoon. You're sticking around. Aaron Keller's coming up. He's got the daily debrief at 5 o'clock. I'm going to sign off for now. We'll see you next week. And we are coast to coast covering live cases, just the one we're in the midst of now. Nouman Raja, that is wrapping up. Tomorrow, the defense will finish their case. Closing arguments Wednesday morning, so I will see you here for that. And anytime in between. Have yourself a great evening. Stay with the Law and Crime Network.